Welcome to Mecha Anime Reviews. Well, Transformers Age of Extinction has recently been released, making it the fourth in Michael Bay's Transformers movie series. In light of this, I felt the need to review Transformers Robots in Disguise, the first Transformers anime to ever be dubbed and released in America, Malaysian dubs aside. First, let me tell you about its history. In Japan, it wasn't even called Robots in Disguise, instead it was called Robots. You see, a show called Beast Machines was in production and they needed another Transformers show to fit the time slot. So they created this show and was brought over by, Saban Entertainment. Saban Entertainment is a dubbing company that rivals 4Kids in terms of how much editing and changes they do to an anime. But, to its credit, they still managed to turn out mostly decent. But what's the story, you may ask? Let's find out. It's the future, I guess, and Koji is watching the news, seeing his father presenting some sort of scientific discovery, when all of a sudden, the Decepticons, the Predacons, appear to kidnap Koji's father. Fortunately, Koji soon finds the Autobots, who have apparently been on Earth for a while, and they make it their mission to save Koji's father and the world from the Predacons. Confused about the Predacons? Well, apparently, in a Transformers show known as Beast Wars, the Predacons were supposed to be the descendants of the Decepticons, fighting against that generation's Autobots known as the Maximals, and now the Predacons are the main antagonists of this series. That's not the least bit confusing for newcomers, isn't it? The animation is mediocre. It's very choppy and sometimes has major animation errors, but it's serviceable. This music is arguably the most generic soundtrack you can possibly think of. The dub is decent, but nothing especially good. Neil Kaplan does decent work as Optimus Prime, and the other actors are serviceable. But Rick Riordan as Megatron is really grating and painful to listen to. Skybite is the only true standout as the comic relief second-in-command of Megatron, even if his voice is a little grating to me as well. First, the good stuff. I like the designs for the robots, the detailed machinery, and the multiple arguments are cool and are functional. It's both awesome and practical. They kinda remind me a little bit of Gallop, probably because they were both designed to sell toys. In fact, the designs and overall storyline are almost like Gallop. A boy joins a group of good guys with robots that transform into vehicles, have stealth modes that can even combine with each other, and the bad guys are trying to capture stuff and are slightly comedic. There's even a green source of power that the Autobots use. I like Skybite for being generally funny. The show changes a lot of the script, and for the most part it's decent and oftentimes pretty funny. And that's about it. The plots are insanely generic and dull to the point of being boring, some requiring the cast to act like idiots. I know this is supposed to be a more comedic, lighter and softer show, but don't you think you could have put a tiny bit more effort into your story? Just saying, the human characters are completely pointless and are generally shitty. Well, except for Kelly.
Blue skies and a peaceful sea. It took months to arrange this trip, but at last I can relax and enjoy it. Gee, some of those seagulls are really big. Strange seagull. Kind of looks like a police car falling from the sky! I'm going to pretend that didn't happen.
You know you're in trouble when Michael Bay's movies are better plots than this. At least the humans have more involvement and the villains are an actual threat. Not to mention, they mostly pull from the most recognizable Transformers from the previous shows. This show is supposed to introduce newcomers in the franchise, but fails due to lackluster stories and shitty and boring characters. Really, Gallop is probably a better Transformers anime than this. Not that it didn't exist to promote toys, but it was a lot more engaging and fun. Okay, I'm probably being unfair. I mean, this is a kid show, but when you compare it to other shows like Ninja Turtles, Digimon Tamers, and even other Transformers shows like Animated and Prime, this feels like a waste. Still, despite its problems, it has its fan base. I can understand why, but I'm not a fan at all. As a show for children, it's serviceable and adequate, but has nothing to look back to. Oh well, see you next time on the next Mecha Anime Reviews.